Also, wo sollen wir denn anfangen? Palm ist sehr, sehr schön. Also ich finde das ganz schöne Nachbarschaft. Also es heißt Schöneberg. Das sollte eigentlich schön sein. Das nächste Nachbarschaft über von Kreuzberg. Ein bisschen mehr residential, aber das mag ich auch. Ganz ruhig eigentlich. Also heute ist Sonntag, Ruhetag. Ich wollte eigentlich ein kleines Check-in machen hier nach der ersten Woche, wie alles hier läuft, wie ich mich fühle hier. In den ersten paar Tagen war ich immer noch ein bisschen angestrengt mit Arbeit und das Stress von Umziehen und alles, aber ich fühle mich ganz wohl hier. Also ich fühle mich wie ein kleines Kind wieder, dass ich bin so überrascht beim alles, dass ich jedes Tag was lernen kann. I still can't really believe that I'm here and that I'm living in an apartment in Berlin by myself. It's really something that I've always thought about and always wanted, and now it's happening. And I guess the feeling is simply just peace. I just feel so much peace being here. Everyone should have these times of solitude, and you're in a different environment that allows you to be with yourself in a different way. I really encourage that for people because there's so much to be learned about yourself and about others, about the world around you, simply by existing in a new scenario. Sometimes that can be scary, but humans are incredibly adaptable. We are quick learners and we are also very curious. You exist in the context and all of which you came from, right? And you can re-exist and you can continue to exist in new contexts. I see it as expanding your palette of life, your flavors and tastes of life, of what is so savoring and delectable and delicious and enjoyable, pleasurable. What are my plans? Goal number 1, simply make it through the 5 months and be able to live here independently. Goal number 2, work on my German and improve my vocabulary bank, especially. Goal number 3 is use this time, especially for a couple of creative projects that I've been putting on the back burner for a while, but have really been wanting to start and get into. One of them is a research project that does tie into my grad studies, but also to just have more time and space to balance my school and work. I have a full semester this fall, so I'm gonna have to really, make my time work out. I also hope to make a couple of videos while I'm here that pertain to how I even got my German citizenship, the story behind that, but also the process in case any of you are wondering and curious whether you also could obtain German citizenship. I aspire to make, hopefully, a weekly vlog that shows you a little bit of what my life here looks like and a couple different neighborhoods and areas to check out. Yeah, you get a sense of Berlin as well if you ever come here. So stay tuned. There will be a lot happening on this channel, a lot more coming. I really enjoy making these videos. It's such a creative outlet and a way for me to document my life. And when I look back and watch them, it brings me so much joy to see these moments, these really small moments that would probably pass me by and I would never think about again, but having them visually captured in a way that tells the story is really nice. And I really appreciate this format of art making and of storytelling. And I think it's so important that we have these touchstones. Yeah. But let's dig a little deeper here, because there's more to this than the eye can see. Being honest, the real reason why I moved here is to answer a deeply rooted question I've had ever since I was brought into this world, and that is about belonging. Where do I belong? For most of my childhood and adult life, I've learned to exist in between lands, in between languages, cultures, families, time zones, none of which really encompass all of who I am, but make up a small part of the whole. A lot of our upbringing involved traveling back to my parents' homelands and being exposed to the ways of life that they knew before immigrating to the US. And I loved this. It brought me closer to my families there that only knew me from a distance, but always welcomed me with warm smiles and big hugs. I savored these moments. It gave me a little taste of, what if we had stayed here? What would life be like? What would I be like? And then it would be over. Time to go back to the US, which, quite frankly, I never looked forward to. I had always felt a certain disgruntled resistance about returning to the States, a country I was supposedly a citizen of, but couldn't feel any more unpatriotic than I already was at the age of 5. There was always memories of how I felt elsewhere coming back to me and calling my name. Going back to the US also meant that I was yet again left out of my familial bonds in some way. The distance grew with time, and I internalized that even more as a reason that I don't belong. Not here, not there, not anywhere. Germany was different though. As a kid, I spent summers visiting my grandparents in small-town Bavaria while everyone else back home went to Disneyland or a soccer camp or whatever. And as soon as the school year ended, I was sitting on a plane looking out the window with excitement, ready to run into my grandmother's arms and start my summer of fun. Which, yes, included going to school for an extra month and some, but I learned a lot. I learned the language. I learned the customs. I learned that German homework is 3 times as hard and 3 times more. I learned that gym class was actually something you had to really try at there, and it was part of the curriculum to learn how to sew, how to make art, how to speak multiple languages. Recess was different over there. The way you raised your hand was different. So I learned how to adapt. I made friends, and I played absurd amounts of ping pong and mini golf, and I rode my bike all over town with the freedom of having 2 euros and a sweet tooth. It was the best part of my childhood. So when I finally went through the process of getting my German citizenship, which was a process, let me tell you, I couldn't help but give in to this long-standing question of, where do I belong? Berlin was a place that had always tickled my curiosity. What would it be like to live there? As a city of many internationals, a mecca for dance and art, with distinctive historical background faced with a bit of an edge that only big city craziness can have, I thought, why not? Where else have I felt myself this free before? The last time I can recall was as an 8-year-old girl wandering her way through the cobblestone streets of Bamberg, eating an ice cream like nothing else mattered. I came here for her. I want to find her in the streets of Berlin. I want to see her come alive and emerge in ways that are unexpected, purely delusional, and driven by joy. I also want her to feel like she belongs in many places, that there is not just one home for her, but a world full of homes that in some way or another speak to her. Berlin is just one of those many places I have felt this special connection with, and it's rare. I know it when I feel it. So that's why I really came here. And yes, there are things I want to experience and do and see, but above all, I just want to be here. To all my third culture kids out there, you have a place. It's within you. Thanks for watching, and stick around. There will be more.